Having us.
We're looking forward to hearing about it and getting the update there. Adam Butler is always here with us, Wildlife Bureau. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well, JT.
No, you've sent Major Reed off on assignment, so we got Captain Scotty Jones in here.
That's right. Major Reed is. We have some new cadets, and they have finished the General Law Enforcement Academy, Melota, and now they are today starting at the Wildlife and Fisheries Academy. So Major Reed's probably up there yelling and screaming and getting them in shape.
Tuning them up, as they say, isn't that right? Captain Scotty Jones, you've been there and done that, hadn't you?
I've been there and done that. I know what they're going through today. So
Probably more than a tune-up, huh?
More than a tune-up. It's a day of eye-opening for some of those cadets up there today.
All right, talk about it. What about our game check and our turkey harvesting? How's that been going on?
It's going great, JT. We're just proud as can be of it. We've had minimal issues with it. A few little things here and there, but for the most part, it's been great. Before I came in, I checked the number. We're up to 8,448 turkeys checked across the state. So that's. Hey, there's still a record harvest, right? I mean, first year we're doing it. So
that's right.
It's the record. But no, we've been pleased, and I hope the hunters have been. And it seems that the hunters have embraced it and are using it. And
we want folks to know too that the game check contest is still open. One lucky person will win a Benelli Super Black Eagle 3 Turkey Edition. Provided by the Foundation for Wildlife, Fisheries, and Parks and Dad's Super Pond in Gulfport. It's easy to do. If you like MDWFP's Facebook page or you need to like one of the official contest posts, then complete the registration form at the link provided in the post. All the information can be found at mdwfp.com/gamecheck under additional information. And we'd also like to thank the Foundation for Wildlife, Fisheries, and Parks and Dad's Super Pond for helping us promote the new game check system. It is law, and you got to do it, but there's a little incentive there for you now. And that'll be really cool, where folks can win. And that's a high dollar shotgun.
Oh yeah,
too,
top of the line shotgun. Top of the line.
All right, a lot of things going on. Snakes.
Hey,
snake!
Look, it's gotten hot. It's not quite summertime, but yeah, we were down at my parents' yesterday, kind of having a Sunday afternoon in the country, and had the kids out playing. And I got a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old, and we leave and go home, and 2 hours later, my dad sends me a picture of a rattlesnake there right off the back porch where the kids were playing. So,
a rattlesnake,
timber rattler, yes sir.
Are you serious? How big was it?
I couldn't tell from the picture real well. I think it probably looked like 3 to 4 foot range.
Made you sick to your stomach, didn't it?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Big enough.
Big enough. The main thing I tell people all the time on this, and we talk about this all the time, best thing to do is just get away from them. And I'm sure you can attest to this, Captain Jones. Majority of people that get bit, the ones that are going over there trying to kill it.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
The ones that try to pick it up and fool with it, if they just walk away, won't get bit.
Snake you don't want to fool with you no more than you want to fool with him usually.
That's right.
And they're not going to do it until you back them up. They're sort of like that. Once you back them up, it is out there. All right, let's get to it. We got a lot to do here today, y'all. Pond management workshops.
Yep. Our Fisheries Bureau has some pond management workshops. They've been doing a lot of these over the last couple of years. So coming up, they've got one, I believe, in Holly Springs, and then we've also got some fishing rodeos coming up. So I'd advise folks to go to the website and check those out. So that's some cool stuff to get outdoors. It's getting that time of the year fishing season, and a lot going on there. And we're also having some Easter egg hunts at our state parks, JT, coming up the 13th, 14th, 20th, and 21st at some different parks scattered around. So we'd encourage people to go and check that out.
And there'll be a lot of them. There's Easter's right around the corner, and it's a great place to go. And we're talking about massive Easter egg hunts. These kids come out from everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
Be a lot of fun. All right, and then, of course, the news that came out last Tuesday.
Right.
The updated CWD management zone, and this may be one of the bigger expansions, if not the biggest, that y'all have had so far.
Right. So if listeners will remember back, we've had a total of 19 confirmed CWD positives across the state over the last 18 months or so. And if you'll remember, we had 2 that kind of came on pretty late in the hunting season. In Panola and Tallahatchie County, those were a good distance from kind of the heart of where the others had been found up there in kind of that Marshall Pontotoc area, and then the 2 down in the South Delta in Issaquena. And so because of those, particularly that Tallahatchie one, which is a good ways away from the rest, the CWD management zone has had to be expanded. And I believe it's 14 counties now up there in the north part of the state. You can go to the website and check it out. So we're talking, almost everything from kind of Grenada on up, covering kind of that I-55 corridor in the north central part of the state. So it's a significant expansion of what it was previously. And so hunters need to remember, supplemental feeding restricted in those areas, mineral sites restricted in those areas. We don't have to worry about it right now, but for next deer season, you need to be thinking about carcass transportation and that kind of stuff.
Okay, so what does it mean now? And this is the couple of things I want to do now, because this affects a place where I hunt. A good friend of mine that is up there. I mean, his feeders are still out. They don't have corn in them. They don't have the batteries in them or anything like that yet. And what would he need to do? I mean, he's not actively feeding, but plans to get them up. I mean, just next time he's up there, is he good?
Yeah, the best thing to do next time he's up there, get them up and get them out of the way, because there's no longer any supplemental feeding within those counties.
Right. All right. Now, what about when you kill a deer? And you were talking about the transportation of it. So you got to bone the meat if you're going to take it out of the county. Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay.
And that's taking it to a taxidermist too. So
really,
either find a taxidermist in that zone, which with an area that large, there's quite a few to choose from, or you're going to have to find a way to get a clean skull plate and all of that, skin it out yourself.
Okay. Now, and so what about if you kill a deer? As far as that's concerned in these zones like that, do you have to bone the meat, or can you take out a hind quarter? How does that work? Like, can you just take a quartered deer out of there? What does that mean at this point?
As long as you're within the county, you can move it within the county. If you go outside that county, you need to debone it.
Okay, so I'm saying, I mean, he lives in Madison, hunts in Yallabusha, so I'm just asking questions from a personal experience. Right. So everything we kill up there now, we've got to debone it if we're bringing it home.
That's correct.
Okay, all right, and I think I think a lot of people just aren't quite understanding the whole concept of this and exactly what's going on with that. And that's where they need to go and learn about this. And, again, it's just trying to do everything they can do to stop this. Do we think this is the answer? No, but they're trying to prevent it. And that's the case where these have been found. And like I said, this may be the biggest expansion we've seen.
Yeah, you are correct about that, JT. So we would encourage listeners to go check that out, because it is a significant expansion of that northern zone. And it's basically the southern counties now are Carroll, LaFleur, Sunflower, and then it kind of follows that I-55 corridor going north all the way to Tennessee. So you're picking up Panola and Quitman and DeSoto, Tate, all up through there, plus the other ones back to the east that had already been in the zone.
Well, again, like I said, that's what you need to pay attention to, because it's definitely changed on us, y'all. It's definitely changed. It's been a big change, and I just want you to make yourself aware of that, okay? So we'll get to that. All right, we got a lot to do. We got the McIver shooting facility coming up. That's on the way. Captain Scotty Jones, y'all had a pretty big weekend with the grand opening of that McIver shooting range. How'd that go?
Big weekend. We're excited. It's the third addition to our shooting range facilities. We had 149 people come out and participate Saturday. Big turnout for one day. Yesterday, Mother Nature dealt us a card, so turnout was low, but we're expecting big numbers at this facility.
Where is it located?
Located just out of Sardis, Mississippi, in Panola County. It's located within the Charles Ray Nix WMA. It's about 300 acres in size, and like I said, just a huge asset to Sardis and Panola County.
Well, I want to talk about that with you when we come back. I want you to tell us what it's all about, what's offered there, and the things that people can do, and how they go about doing it. As of course, one of the many facilities that you have, and that they have, including Turcotte. You've got this one, and one more. Where's the other one?
McHenry, just south of Wiggins.
That's right. To the C Spire text line, Dave from Ripley. Does an 8-year-old need a fishing license in state parks in Mississippi? Captain Jones?
No, 8-year-old does not need a license. The only time you need a license is when you're 16 years of age and older.
Let's see. And a great morning to bust turkeys. Head tomorrow. Turkey hunting, awesome sport. Bittersweet. I'm tagged out. Gobble, gobble. At work, super great. Easy to report your turkey. Well, there you go.
That was a lot in a short period.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. His grandpa, Cody Bear McMurray, with the help of his grandpa, Reggie McMurray, killed his first longbeard Saturday. They sent us a picture in. It was a 10 1/4-inch beard with 7/8-inch spurs.
Wow. Good
That's
turkey.
a good one.
Mm-hmm.
That's a real good one.
Any adult turkey is a good turkey.
Randy said for salt bucks that had been previously put out prior to the announcement, do they have to be taken up as well since it's not the hunting season?
Nope.
It's not? Okay. They're going to go away anyway.
That's right.
Yeah, they don't last long anyway. But you can't put out any new ones.
That is correct.
That's the bottom line. Why deboned is CWD only carried in the bone and not in the meat?
It's it's primarily concentrated in the nervous tissue, which is going to be spinal column and things like that. So there's some thought to moving a carcass and depositing it in a new area could potentially spread those prions into the environment.
Okay. JT, are they planning on getting more test sites? Us in North Panola, Mississippi, Parts Equipment and Tunica have to travel 45 minutes to one. I imagine since the expansion of the CWD zone, we're going to see some more drop-off points.
We have not named those sites yet.
Okay.
We're still a ways from deer season, but the plan is to have more for this upcoming deer season than we did before.
All right, let's talk about that. Gets us caught up. Let's talk more about MacGyver and where you said you're up there in Sardis, right?
Sardis, Mississippi.
Okay. And talk about the concept from behind this.
Well, JT, the shooting range facilities started with Turcotte. First facility opened in 2006, post-Katrina.
Been there many times.
And then in 2013, we opened our second edition, which was McHenry Shooting Facility located south on the coast. So we had one centrally located and one located south. We needed one up in North Mississippi. So the concept and the talk started. It just so happened that Winchester Ammunition has a plant up in Oxford, Mississippi. So communication began with Winchester, and we formed a partnership there where we can use private donations to contribute to a federal grant, and made MacGyver happen.
Tell us, I know Winchester is a sponsor there, and of course, how'd they get involved actually with this? Because that place is huge up there. They employ a lot of people, and to think about that, I go out of my way to buy Winchester pistol ammo and things like that.
That's good
to
stuff.
Support them.
That's good stuff.
Well, I support them because they're here in Mississippi.
That's right.
Absolutely.
That's right. The way it came about, our foundation for the Mississippi Department of Wildlife Fisheries Parks actually made contact with Winchester Ammunition, and we're kind of the first ones to step out there to work with a private organization as matched toward a federal grant. And the partnership took off. We looked at the Charles Ray Nix WMA, and what better place to have it, and just the location and the scenery of it, it just fit the bill for the MacGyver shooting facility.
What all can you shoot there at MacGyver?
If you're a shooting enthusiast, you can shoot everything. You got archery, sporting clays, skeet, trap, rifle, handgun. Like I said, a 3D archery. We have a 5-stand duck flush over water. It's state of the art. It's a really neat.
Tell me more about that. A 5-stand duck flush.
So it's sporting clays in one spot.
Okay.
5 individuals stand on there. It's covered under a roof, out over water. You can shoot. It's 8 different machines throwing different targets at different locations, and you stand there and shoot. If it's raining, you can shoot. If you want to get out of the sun, you can shoot. And simply, if you don't want to go around the whole sporting clay course, you can go to that spot and shoot shotgun all day long.
So tell me a little bit about what you need to go shoot at MacGyver, and what you need as far as how much does it cost, things like that. Obviously, you probably need a hunting license. What? Tell me all about this.
No, you don't need a hunting license. You just need to show up. It's $15 a day to get on the facility and shoot. If you shoot any shotgun-related sport, it's 30 cents a target. Basically, all you need, JT, is a gun and some ammo, and come shoot with us.
All I need is an excuse, man. What are you talking about? That's
right.
All I need is an excuse. I love to shoot pistols. I'm not a big clay shooter, but I never really have done it, so I need to probably do it.
I tell you what, if you came up there to that facility and shot sporting clays one time, you would be addicted to it.
Let's talk about some other shooting, can we? How about we do that right now? Let's talk and moving our way into archeries in school. Waldo Cleland is here with us. He is the coordinator for archery in Mississippi schools, and we talk about it every Monday here, that the Foundation for Wildlife Fisheries and Parks not only brings you Mississippi Outdoors Radio, but they also sponsor archery in schools, don't they, Waldo?
Yes, they do.
You've been busy past couple of weeks with tournaments. Tell me all about it.
Oh, have we? March 17th, we put on the South State Qualifier in Hattiesburg, Forest County Multipurpose Facility. March 25th, we went to Fulton, Mississippi at the Etowah County Community College, who, by the way, is putting archery in on the collegiate level also.
Really?
And put a huge high school tournament on there last 2 weeks ago. April 2nd through the 5th, of course, we visited Jackson and Kurt Fordyce Equine Center and brought over 6,000 kids in there.
Did you ever dream that this would take off the way it has, Waldo?
No, sir.
I mean, really and truthfully.
We're in our furthest dreams or our vision, we did not see this coming.
The archery in Mississippi is a program that's grown tremendously over the last several years. Why do you think so? Why has the growth been so tremendous and it's been so popular?
I believe in this day and age of the electrical outlet child that we have now with the computers and cell phones, I believe this is a refreshing deal when the kids get to actually go out and shoot a bow, enjoy the outdoors, and enjoy the natural resources that Mississippi is so rich in.
You know, I was talking about this with something the other day, and I think this is so great for these kids because we look at society now, and I'll bring up a perfect example. People just don't like to do things. They don't get out like they used to. I mean, we've seen it with attendance at sporting events. We're seeing it with hunting and fishing and different things like that. Golf courses are starting to see it. And so now that we see these children at a young age, getting them involved with this, whether they ever go hunt or anything in their life, they'll always have this skill that they'll never – you won't unlearn it, will you?
This is true. It is a lifelong sport, and when you reach 55, 56 years old, such as myself, you can still walk out in the yard and shoot a bow. My football, basketball, and baseball career is over with.
How many kids are involved with this now? How many schools and how many kids?
Well, we have over 70,000 kids or student athletes in Mississippi shooting.
Are you serious?
Yes, sir.
That's unreal.
Yes.
That is just absolutely unreal.
70,000.
That's in PE programs. We've got it in, of course, the competitive programs, PE programs, all the way through the schools. Homeschool organizations have picked it up, and it's a huge deal for the homeschool associations. And all the public and private schools are in. It's rolling now.
That is just amazing. 70,000 kids. Wow. That is just, who knew they would ever come to this? So that's pretty good. It's a fun activity, but tell me about it. What do other kids get out of this? Tell me all about that.
Well, as we talked about a while ago, you get out of life what you put into it, and you get out of archery what you put into it. And I see coaches talking this to the students now, and it teaches them to be accountable and know that they're going to be held accountable for all of their actions. Their grades, oh, wow. We have an academic archer program where over nearly 1,000 kids are in our academic archery program now. And to be an academic archer, you have to have a high GPA and a good shooting score. So it's kind of like an All-American award, except it's an All-Mississippi award.
So you're kind of in the elite club there if you got the good grades and you've got the good aim, huh?
There you go. And kids work hard to get there.
How about that? Well, there's no doubt about that. And this has been unbelievable. The way this is out here.
It's got to help improve their concentration too, I would think, huh?
Oh, no doubt.
So focused on target and all of that.
This is so true. And, we get a lot of non-athlete or athletic kids in this also. But it puts the athletes and the non-athletes on a level playing field. Really a cool deal.
Well, and I want to talk about that some more with you, Waldo, if we can. I mean, we get this coming up here, Waldo. We're going to get some more of this happening and talk about archery in schools. Lots of things that are going on, and we'll hope to get more kids involved, and it would even be even cooler than that. But for 70,000 students here in the state of Mississippi, in a state our size, to have that's impressive. That is absolutely impressive. Let's get back to it. We're talking with Waldo Cleland. Waldo Cleland, the archery and Mississippi schools coordinator. And let's get back to it again. Now, tell me again, 70,000 kids, and how many schools, Waldo?
Over 500 now.
Wow. That is just an amazing thing. I mean, it's a great activity, and the kids get a lot out of it just outside of being archery. like you said, it teaches them discipline. It teaches them a lot of different things, concentration. It's life skills because you're dealing with a coach and you're competing and you're doing some different things like this. There's a lot of things that they can come out of this. And, of course, just like sports, if they want to continue to compete, they have to keep their grades up too, right?
Hey, this is true. And an interesting fact, I have 17 schools that have notified me that their archery team had the highest GPA of any sports team in their school. So,
Isn't that great? Isn't that great? All right, so if a parent would like to see archery in Mississippi at their kid's school, how do they go about getting involved?
They can make contact with the Mississippi Department of Wildlife, Fisheries and Parks, and the Ames staff will respond quickly.
And what's the process for getting it going? What do they have to do?
Well, first they'll have to establish their coaches or teachers for the sport, and then they'll order equipment, and that's it.
Is it pretty expensive for the schools to get involved with this?
A school can get involved, equipment, training, and everything for less than $3,000 at this point.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Now obviously you're going to have some parents that much as I hate to say it, this day and age we got a lot of helicopter parents, and they may worry that shooting sports are dangerous or they may not want it in their schools, and you've got some people like that, don't you, Waldo?
There were 70,000 kids a year going through this program and not one accident or incident report. I don't think kids can take a break and go to the lunchroom with a record that good. I mean, it's totally safe.
And safety is the number one thing, right? I mean, that's before anything.
This is true. And we train, we have some of the best training staff in the world. There will be provinces from Canada come to Gulfport yearly and get trained. There will be countries out of South America came to Gulfport a couple years ago, and they hold the trainings here for a reason, the National Archery in Schools program, because our state coordinators and trainers are the top.
James in Clarksville had a good question. Is this available for private and parochial schools?
Yes.
Okay. Now, how do they go about doing it? Same way?
Exactly the same way.
All right, go over that one more time for everybody.
They can just make contact with Mississippi Department of Wildlife. We will be back, the Ames staff will be back in contact with the school. We'll line up the coaches. We'll train them. We'll actually go to the school, help them set their ranges up, show them what to do. And it's downhill from there. They'll be shooting in the state championship the next year, hopefully.
And you mentioned about homeschoolers as well were involved with this. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. Anything that's got school on the end of it, it applies to them.
Okay. What if the homeschooler, do they go in groups? Do they have homeschool groups? How does that work? Most
of it is homeschool associations, and it gives them a sport
that
the homeschool association can be in.
Anything else you'd like to add about the shooting sports?
Well, the tournament this year in Jackson was a super success. Our law enforcement officers did a great job officiating the floor. The wildlife, fisheries, parks, everyone pitched in to help, and it was the most successful tournament we've ever seen. And as we were finishing up, we wound up with 6,618 shooters there registered to shoot in the chute, and that was going to break the national record. And, of course, Kentucky, the original state that started this program, reported 7,028 students this year, the week that we were shooting. But so close, but maybe next year.
Wow. Now Waldo, who are the winners? You hadn't told us who the winners were.
For the
who's the top shooters?
Oh my goodness, we like I say, we have 6,618 shooters there, and we've got them in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6A. We've got them in MAIS, MHSAA, public-private divisions. We have a lot of winners. We give out quite a load of trophies.
Right.
That's amazing. 70,000 kids. That is just amazing.
Now they've started with the shotguns too now, right?
We have started with the shotguns. About 3 years ago, we started a pilot program, the MSSP program, with shotguns in schools. We're up to about 30 schools and over 600 kids in a shotgun shooting program. And it's like you said earlier, just getting kids out there. They're all on the same level field. Matter of fact, this past fall, we had our North qualifier up there at MacGyver Shooting Facility, and a 7th grader won that event. You know, he outshot a bunch of seniors up there. And when you give a 7th grader a big belt buckle to walk around and say, I can do it, it recruits other kids into the program. You got mom and dad coming in there shooting, and brother and sister tags along with them. So it's a good way to recruit individuals into the shooting sports.
That is awesome. And I have a vision. I'm looking forward down the road, and I believe our shotgun program will be just as big, if not bigger, than the archery program in the near future. It's like a snowball effect.
So what do they do? Shoot trap?
They shoot sporting clays is the main thing they do, but they do shoot skeet and trap. But sporting clays is more of a level playing field for the kids to go around and compete in.
How many schools you say?
It's around 30 schools and 600 kids, I believe.
Just in 3 years.
Just in 3 years.
We started out with like 3 or 4 schools and 30 kids. And now
well, gentlemen, you all 4 of us sitting here know, and we realize that we're just a generation away from probably losing our traditions of hunting and fishing and things like that if we don't continue to try to reinforce that with these children. I know I've tried with mine. They both elected not really to pursue it. They've been in the woods. They've hunted. Neither one of them care about hunting. My son likes to fish, but it's just what do you do? How do you keep them involved? Of course, I went through that period of time where I hunted a lot and was drugged to the deer camp as a kid, and then didn't want to do it. And then once my kids came around, and I wanted to show them about it, and it was kind of like got me rekindled with hunting again as well, where I kind of took a sabbatical, But then when the kids got the kids involved, and now still continue to hunt. So I guess it kind of works in cycles a little bit.
Well, you're exactly right. That's why it's important for our agency to provide shooting facilities like we do and provide programs like this, because it's no doubt kids are the future of our what we enjoy, and any way we can get kids involved into the shooting sports and educated them through hunter education. Hopefully one day they'll go buy a hunting fishing license and continue the tradition.
And this is true, and we certainly hope that is just the case. Waldo Cleland has been our guest here today, Archery and Mississippi Schools Coordinator. 70,000 kids. Go ahead one more time, how a parent can try to get the ball rolling at their school.
Hey, all they have to do is make contact with the Mississippi Department of Wildlife, Fisheries, and Parks, and the AIM staff will take it up, and we'll be there quickly.
Archery and Mississippi Schools. Y'all check it out. We got one more segment to go here. If you got some questions you want to throw out there, Butler, if you got anything you need to house clean with, we can do that when we come back. Of course, again, we've got Easter egg hunts at the state parks. This will starting this weekend. There's fishing rodeos going on, folks. Also, the updated CWD management zone. It is up on the website. You need to look at it. It's probably one of the bigger expansions that they've had. There's some rules and some regs that are involved with that now. There's no more supplemental feeding in these areas, and that includes mineral sites. And also, if you have hog traps, they've got to be registered. You can do it for free, but they've got to be registered with the department, and this is part of their response plan to try to put a stop to the chronic wasting disease. All right, boys, you've got about 4 minutes to just talk all the turkey you can talk. How about that?
Well, Scotty here, pretty good turkey hunter himself, JT. He was able to go out and get one on camera here, a week ago?
That is correct. I am a turkey junkie, I guess you would say, and got the privilege to go out with the Mississippi Outdoors filming crew, and we actually got a bird on film, and look forward to watching that next spring.
Really?
Yeah.
Good sized bird?
Good bird. Bird was actually roosted over a tupa gum break with a bunch of hens and jakes, and it looked like a bunch of mallards coming into it off a break, coming in, lighting out there in front of us, and did everything he was supposed to do, gobbled and put on a show for us, and had a really good hunt.
Which you went out with them last year too, though, right? But the outcome wasn't quite as successful.
I had my son with me last year. He was fortunate enough to get drawn for the Charles Ray Nix WMA up there, which, if you're listening out there, that is a phenomenal youth area.
Youth only,
April yeah. Prime. Matter of fact, sits right up there where the MacGyver shooting facility is at, and every time I go up there, there's not a day that I don't go up there that I don't see turkeys gobbling or strutting this time of year. So he got to participate on the hunt last year, and just couldn't quite make the shooting aspect get it down.
When I saw that episode, I just couldn't believe it. It was just y'all were all in amongst them the whole time, but still didn't bring one home.
I know, and I asked him that, and you know, he's pretty reliable behind the gun, and I asked him, I said, well, what's the deal? And he said, I think it's the camera. I said, well, that's a good excuse.
Was it two? You missed two in the same day?
It was two birds in the same
misses
day.
on two different setups.
So you get an area like that, public hunting, where, you know, you got a kid that gets the opportunity to shoot at 2 adult turkeys in the same morning. It's pretty phenomenal. It's good stuff.
If you miss 2 in the same day, he'll start messing with you, though.
That's right. But he redeemed himself a week later on some private land. So
right.
It's all good. If you haven't missed a turkey, you haven't been turkey hunting long enough. So it's going to happen.
Well, is it true? You were kind of talking about this for a second, Adam. That if you can get to it, if you can find a turkey, it's probably active. But the problem is finding active turkeys right now.
So a lot of turkey hunters refer to this kind of mid part of the season we're in right now as the lull. So the gobbling activity is usually really good early, kind of peaks out right around the first part of April, first week of April, and then you go through a week or two where gobbling drops off a little bit, and then picks back up the last week or 10 days of our season. And what's really going on from the biology standpoint is this is when how do I say this on the radio show? So this is when the little turkeys are getting made. So the gobblers have spent the last several weeks attracting their groups of hens, and now they're in the process of breeding the hens. So they're really preoccupied. So they tend to hush up a little bit more. And then here in a couple of weeks, the hens will be sitting on their nest, and so the gobblers get lonely again. And that's why that last couple of weeks of the season can be really, really good. You
know, one of the good things and bad thing also is seeing a lot of jakes out there this year.
Oh, yeah.
And what I've witnessed and what I've talked to others are witnesses this year, that turkeys are gobbling good on a limb, and when they hit the ground, what comes in are a bunch of gobbling jakes. So kind of tells me the young guys are whooping up on some of the older turkeys and making them shut up.
And jakes, from a hunt standpoint, can be frustrating, because especially if you get kind of early hatch, they'll sound like an adult gobbler. You'll think you're on an adult gobbler, but they're really skittish about coming in, and so you'll be messing with them, and then a couple of hours go by and you realize you just spent the whole morning trying to call in a jake.
That's right. That's right.
And people don't know what a jake is. Explain that to them.
A juvenile gobbler, so a year-old gobbler, which was a turkey that was hatched last summer, which in Mississippi are not legal to shoot for adults.
Unless you're a youth.
That's
right.
Correct.
So there you go. And still, your favorite way to eat the turkey is to make nuggets.
It's not
and
a bad
deep fry.
way. Yeah, there's not a bad way. I actually tried a new recipe a couple of weeks ago that my kids really loved, and it was kind of in a skillet with some different stuff in there. But yeah, probably doing it fried, soaking it in the buttermilk, and then frying it is hard to beat.
Turkey
hard to beat.
Nuggets. Turkey nuggets.
Good stuff.
All right, gentlemen. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate you being here, and we'll join everybody again next Monday for more Mississippi Outdoors Radio right here on Super Talk Mississippi. As always, brought to you by the Foundation for Wildlife, Fisheries, and Parks. Don't forget to go to MDWFP.com for the Easter egg hunts. There'll be a lot of them going on this weekend at your state parks, and you can find them right there. Adam, thank you.
Yes,
Scott,
sir.
thank you, man. Appreciate y'all being here.